All right, squad. So we are here to discuss all things HYROX with you guys. We have many of you who are signing up for your first race in Miami, and we're super excited about that. And I gathered the team here of my most experienced HYROX coaches, and all of them have actually made it onto the podium. So I wanted to pick their brain and get all the information that maybe we need to give to you so that you can have a first successful HYROX race. So let's talk about month prior to HYROX training. What are your suggestions? What are your key takeaways? What would you tell somebody leading into HYROX?
So I think for most people, if we're a few weeks out, few weeks out, your volume is pretty much staying the same. You're continuing your same training, but just keeping in mind that now you're not as much building as you are doing a little bit more race specific stuff. For instance, if you are doing doubles, this is where I would probably hone in on practicing things like transitions, how you're going to switch on the sled together or the ski or whatever that may look like, right? Whatever changes and whatever intervals you are deciding to do with your partner. Also, that could be a solo race is what do my transitions look like from running to a station, So
Compromise running.
exactly, compromise running. So more race specific things, but again, also not a time to introduce a bunch of new volume and things that you don't know that you can recover well from. So keeping it the same.
Do you suggest HYROX sims often?
No, I would not do that too often, right? You can pair things together that you will see on a race day. So again, you can practice that race day flow, but I would avoid overdoing the simulations.
Cool. All right, so my next question is for you, Kieran. Let's talk about week prior to HYROX. What do you suggest for tapering that week?
So for a taper, you're going to want to cut your volume down by at least 50%. Now, we don't want to cut intensity down because that is when we stay sharp and fast, and we want to feel fast all the way up till race day. But we're going to want to cut that volume down. First half of the week, you keep your workouts very similar to what you've been doing. Don't introduce any new movements because that's what's going to get you sore. Your movements that you're used to will not get you sore. You're just maintaining that fitness that you've built. And then a few days out, I would suggest giving yourself a rest day about 2 days before the race. And then the day before the race, you're going to give yourself a shakeout run, 2-3 miles maybe. Throw a few strides in there, pick that pace up, feel race pace for a couple seconds, maybe 30-second intervals. That's not going to get you sore or tired. It's just going to keep you sharp and fresh. And then you can add in some extra carbs the day before. Give yourself a little carb load. You don't need a huge one as if you're doing a marathon. An hour-long race, you're just going to need a short carb load. So get your extra carbs in, get some good sleep, stay hydrated, and then you're ready to race.
Good tips. All right, Caleb. So my next question is for you, and I want to know what are your tips when traveling for a race, whether you're flying or driving and racing that same weekend?
Yeah, flying can really take it out of you. So if you are flying, make sure you're staying hydrated, tons of water, bring a water bottle on the plane. Eating, make sure you have a snack. Don't eat plain food, jerky sticks, bags of nuts, things like that can be really helpful to make sure you're staying fueled throughout your travel day. Arrive early. Try to get to your location at least 24 hours prior. That way you can get accustomed to your hotel. You can get comfortable. You can even go to the venue, look around a little bit, maybe watch a race, get comfortable, figure out how long it's going to take you to get to that venue. So that's why it can be helpful to get there a little bit early. And then obviously we're staying hydrated. We're fueling the whole way through. Kieran talked a little bit about that carb load. You want to make sure you're staying fueled. Don't let the flight or the drive distract you from the mission, right? Yeah. Always be intentional about what you're fueling yourself with.
Love that. Great tips. So night before the race and or day of the race, what are you fueling with? What are you guys eating? Whoever wants to talk first.
I mean, I have a couple set things that I try to always follow, which is just keeping my protein moderate, keeping the fat a little bit lower, keeping fiber low so you don't have any stomach issues, and then truly focusing on carbs being the main macro that I try to focus on.
Okay. Love that. Anybody else?
I would suggest to just keep it something you're used to eating. So I have a pre-workout food that I eat before every race. It's my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it is my comfort food. And it makes me feel good. I know what I'm going to feel like after it. And that's the only thing I would eat before a race. good in carbs, high sugar with the jam, and yeah.
Okay, that's it. Success.
It's a really good question. And obviously everybody's like, yes, carb loading. I had a client recently say, how's chicken parmesan? Right? He's like, I eat chicken parmesan every day leading up to a HYROX race. I wouldn't recommend it. I advised against it. You don't know what's in that breading. It's high fat, it's fried, right? Like carbs is good, but we want to be cautious about the types of carbs that we're eating. Keep it clean, keep it light, keep it familiar. That's a really good point. And then you're going to feel great for race day.
Yeah, agreed.
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Yeah.
I mean,
And honestly, like even if you have to go to a restaurant, because a lot of times you do, pick apart the restaurant. I mean, pick apart the menu, right? So like just the chicken with plain rice. You don't have to order what's their menu specifically, but like you can ask for certain things, especially when you're in a HYROX city. They know that the people are coming that are eating healthy and they're used to those modifications being made to the menu. So don't be afraid to ask for things that you need. Obviously, when you're traveling and going out to eat, when you have to get fuel. And boom. Okay, so next question is, how early do you suggest racers get to the venue day of the race?
I'm going to say at least 2 hours. I like to do about 2.5. I go in there and I watch a race. That's the first thing I like to do. And then from there, I'll chill and get my thoughts together.
What do you do?
Yeah, for me, about 2 hours. I don't want to get there too early because all that anxiety builds. 2 hours, watch a race, get comfortable, get checked in, ready to go.
Karen, what do you do?
2 hours seems to be the sweet spot. That gives you plenty of time to warm up. You're gonna want at least 40 minutes to get warmed up. I like to sometimes head out for a run right before, if that's possible, at the convention center. So that gives you plenty of time to get all of that done.
All right, next question is, do you fuel during the race? And if so, what are you fueling with? And when? So are you fueling? If so, what are you fueling with? And when do you fuel? Anybody?
I can start on this one. I feel like I'm the fuel king. If you need fuel,
Give us your tip.
give me a call. No, so yes, absolutely, I'm fueling. Once you train fueled, you will never go back. It's true. So I will do like a carb electrolyte supplement leading before the race, pretty much immediately before the race. Usually while I'm in the warm-up zone, I'm sipping on my carb electrolyte formula. And then during the race, I am always going to have at least one gel in my pocket. So if I hit a wall or I'm starting to feel like I'm crashing, I'm hitting that gel for a pick-me-up, right? Usually I'll have 2 and maybe even 3. 3 would be aggressive. That's like if all else fails, the wheels are coming off, I have that 3rd as a backup, right? But usually 1 to 2. And I'll take that first gel usually around the row, especially in a doubles race. You kind of have time to stand and sit back and take that gel. And then usually that second one, if I need it, around lunges, sandbag lunges.
Are you doing caffeinated gels or are they just regular?
I tend to go regular. I'll get plenty of caffeine before the race, and then I don't want to risk any stomach issues, so I don't need any caffeine during the race.
Are you fueling?
Yeah, about the same time as when I hit the row, I've got my Martin gel and I prefer those. So I'm always taking one at the row. I usually stick to just one gel and it helps fuel me through the rest of the race.
Karen, what do you do?
Definitely. One gel seems to normally work for me. I'll take it during the row if I'm in a doubles race or right after the row, because that's normally when my heart rate is lowest on the run after the row if I'm in a solo race, and I can get that gel down and not feel like I'm going to lose it.
Good. Okay. Let's talk shoes. Favorite shoes to race in? Just give me a shoe.
Right now, I've been racing in New Balance Super Comp Elites. I've raced my past 2 races in those and have loved them a lot. I still love my Brooks, and I trade back and forth between those 2.
Okay. Caleb, what's your go-to?
I have only ever raced in Saucony Endorphin Pros. That is my favorite shoe of all time. It's great for HYROX, but I will say, I just got Super Comps and I raced my half marathon in them and I loved them. So they might be making an appearance in Miami.
Okay. Liz?
I am a Nike Alpha Fly girly, but that might be changing soon, just to switch up and see if something works even better for me.
Nice. I will say I just recently raced with my On Cloud Boom Strikes, and I raced in those, and I did my first 10K, and I PR'd both. So that's my shoe right now, the Boom Strikes, Cloud Boom Strikes. Okay, next question about shoes. Do you bring a second pair of shoes just in case?
No.
Yes. All the options. Even though I'm probably not going to wear them.
Because
But
you're gonna change your outfit?
yes.
Okay, I knew.
If I have an outfit change, my shoes need to match.
Duh.
No, my outfit, my shoes, everything's figured out before I leave my house.
Yeah, okay. I usually only bring one race shoe too, because my husband likes to laugh at me if I pack too much. So. And then last thing is, do you suggest that they train in their race shoe before race day?
Yes, I definitely would. Some of your harder sessions, especially if you have runs into sleds sessions that focus on those two movements, you're going to want to train in your race shoes.
Yeah, feel it out. Definitely, you don't want to be walking into a race with brand new shoes as well. You want to break them into your feet a little bit. So I'd say run at least 8 to 10 miles. And then like Kieran said, I'd practice on at least some sleds, maybe some burpees too, make sure they have the traction you need.
Making sure that they're good on all the movements is key. Do you have to use them for every session that you do? No, but you want to get at least a good volume in to double check.
Yeah, I think I also like testing out lunges too in my new shoes because you can get wobbly or wall balls because that first wall ball are all over the place. So yeah, definitely test out your shoes before you race. All right, what do you not recommend trying for the first time on race day?
Maybe you're in a new city and you see this really cool restaurant and you see this awesome spicy dish on the menu. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No taco deli before a race. Got it. Okay.
Always tacos.
Duh. Just minus the hot sauce.
Never try new clothing, especially shorts. I have my shorts I like to race in, and I will not race in a different pair or a different color.
Ladies, shorts and sports bras. Don't do it. Caleb.
Never try new supplements on race day. Okay, they're gonna have the little fancy My Protein HYROX gels. If you did not train with them, you are not taking it. Okay, don't risk it. Train with your gels ahead of time or your supplements, whatever you're taking, and be prepared for how that's gonna feel on race day.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's probably what my go-to would be is trying like a new gel in the race and it's like your dry mouth and you're like, oh, my stomach's feeling here. Good. So yeah. Hey guys, how do you manage nerves week of and or day of your race? Did anybody else get nervous? Just me? No, okay, it's just me.
Totally normal to be nervous. And I think anytime I have an athlete that I've coached tell me in the past, I'm nervous, I'm like, to be expected. You're going to be nervous. It's going to happen. That's okay. But I think that something I always anchor myself with is that the training that you've been doing, that is the whole point. And the race is where you go to pick up the patch. It's where you go to pick up the medal. It is the accumulation though of that training that you've been putting in. So just trust that you've done the work.
Yeah.
And I think that can kind of ground you in a way.
Love that. Karen.
I think something that helps a lot is kind of using that nervousness to fuel your race. Somebody once told me nerves and excitement are essentially the same thing in what comes out. Sometimes we get a little shaky, our heart starts going. It's nerves or excitement. So tell yourself you're excited. You're not nervous. You're excited. And just use that to fuel your race and give you that kickstart at the beginning. And then go out and enjoy yourself, but also race hard.
Yeah, I think remember the why, right? Like, yeah, you have a time goal and you want to go out and hit it and you want to have a good race, but what's the point? Like, why are you doing all this in the first place? It's because you enjoy it, right? It's because we have fun. It's because of the community that comes with it, right? So, like, when you're out there racing, just remember to have fun. Like, look around, smell the roses. Seriously, like, look at the spectators' faces and like have fun with your doubles partner, right? Like, it doesn't have to be this super serious thing all the time. Although some of us, might go Elite 15 one day and have big goals. It's still important to go out there and have fun, especially if it's your first race. Like, that's the most important thing. And guess what? Kieran just learned this recently. If you go have fun, you might shock yourself with how well you perform because you just feel so good, right? Like when you have a smile on your face, it's amazing how well you perform.
All of that sounds good, but I will tell you, I am like shaking prior to the race. And so what I do is I get really quiet. And so I personally have to like get in a quiet zone where I'm able to just like walk myself through the race, right? I'm not angry, I'm not mad, I'll be back in like 5 minutes, but I've got to give my headspace, my central nervous system just kind of like a little breather. And I say my prayers and I get my mind right and I walk myself through the race and I just kind of feel out how, level of expectation for myself. And then, yes, I remind myself, just as Coach Grant would say, that we get to do this, right? So have fun with it for sure.
I think you said something really good there. I want to hit is visualizing yourself completing the race. Like visualize yourself running on that stage, right? That's such a cool moment. Do you remember your first race running on that stage the first time? Like how amazing that is. Like visualize that the week leading up to the day of while you're going through the race and let that just carry you through.
Yeah. And I will say it is good to get into the venue prior to your race because vibes are high. Like you walk in that room and you're like, oh my goodness. So not letting, when you're about to go into the warm-up zone, being your first time getting in there, because it can be a little overwhelming, right? The energy is amazing. The DJ's crushing it. People are cheering. There's runners running. I mean, it's wild, but it's unlike anything you've ever experienced. So definitely have fun. Last question for you guys is there anything that you wish you knew before your first ever HYROX race that you would like to share with the group?
I think I already kind of knew it, but I think I would have loved to have a little bit more emphasis on it, that the rock zone is not a place to necessarily take your foot off the brakes. So coming from your station back to the run or coming from the run into the station, giving a little hustle still in that rock zone.
Yep, agreed.
Be careful and count your laps so you don't run extra ones. Running an extra lap sometimes happens on your first race and it's okay. But if you learn and study the course beforehand and you know exactly how many laps you have and you pay attention to that during your race, it can save you a little bit of time.
I think just understanding kind of the flow of the check-in and getting into the warm-up area, which is often you have to cut through the race, right? You want to make sure you have plenty of time. And then going into the tunnel, like a lot of that for the first time can be like, where am I going? So I think that's helpful to understand, like get there early, get in the warm-up zone 30, 40 minutes before, and be ready to get in the tunnel 10 minutes before your start time. Yep. But the other thing that I would say is be careful because you're going to get addicted and you might leave your job and commit your whole life to hybrid fitness and be hooked on HYROX for the rest of your life. So just be careful.
He's speaking from business. Yeah. And my thing I would say is I didn't know about the wall ball station, that the counter, right? So the first time I went and it had the, I don't know, it's like the, what do you call it?
The automated counter?
The target has an actual dot on the target and it counts your reps for you. And if you are normally used to hitting the target maybe at the lower end, it's gonna no rep you. You have to literally hit it right in the middle. And so you just learn that when you get—
What a hard lesson to learn.
When you see like 3 or 4 reps, like no repping, you're like, what are you talking about? I'm squatting, I'm throwing. So yeah, just knowing like how the reps go, how they're counting the reps, what they're watching on the wall ball station because that you think you're almost done and that can get really frustrating when you see like, I've seen people with like 20 no reps. And so yeah, getting depth on that and then hitting that target in the right spot. All right, team, so there you have it. Hopefully we gave you enough tips and tricks so that you can go into your next HYROX race confident and ready to crush it. Again, we are here to support and serve in any way we can. We'll have plenty of HYROX classes coming up. Check out our SWET classes on Thursdays and Saturdays. And if you need to, grab any of the coaches in here. They are HYROX certified and have all those reps and standards and all the things under their belt. So we're here to serve and help you in any way possible. And thanks for joining me in our SWET talk. 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Karen just sat there.
Exactly.